How's it digging my shovels? This is Spade here, and today I got a rarely tier match against Pokemon TY. And made a few changes to this team, and I decided to replace the Sigilyph with another Magic Guard user. And that is a specially defensive Clefable, because a special wall is something that this team really lacked. And I thought the Wish support and the Heal Belling would be nice support overall for this team. And yeah, Druddigon and Quillfish don't have reliable recovery, so it could definitely benefit them, and why not the offensive members of the team as well. So that is what I got going on here. And looking at my opponent's team, the one thing I'm mostly afraid of is the Gallade, because Clefable certainly doesn't help against it. So on that aspect, Sigilyph having that would have been still nice, but I thought overall a special wall would be better and in a support role for this team. And you may have also noticed that he is running Nidoqueen, which was moved up to UU like over a month ago, but for whatever reason he didn't know about it, and I was like, let's just go with it. I do have Clefable to kind of counter it, so there is that. And so without further ado, let's just jump right into the match. And I just decided to lead with my Scarf Rotom, because when in doubt, just Scarf it out. And it actually turns out that he's running a Choice Scarf Archeops that he leads with, so that is definitely good information for later on. And I actually decided to go for the Hidden Power Ice, because I was like, if he decides to stay in for whatever reason, at least I get to knock him down to Defeatist. But if he goes into Nidoqueen, then I could hit that thing relatively hard, because the Thunderbolt or the Wall Switch is kind of obvious. And it actually turns out that he does go into Nidoqueen, so that works out quite nicely. Although there is a chance that he could have just as well gone into Lantern, which he does go into now, because he saw that I went for the Hidden Power Eyes. But it actually does work out pretty nicely, because he doesn't go directly into Lantern. I guess he was just really hoping to set up early game rocks, and the electric type move was kind of obvious. But I decided to go into Clefable to kind of wall the Nidoqueen, and then he's just gonna wall switch out back into Nidoqueen as I just make a safe wish, just kind of to scout what he's going to do. And yeah, he apparently just really wants to set up his Stealth, so he does go back into Nidoqueen to set them up, and then I'm just gonna throw him a bit with the Seismic Toss. And then I'm just gonna make another wish just to scout what he's going to do, because he's most likely not going to stay in, because he just set up his rocks, and you know, there's so many things that he could do. So I decided to just make a wish and scout, kind of. And yeah, he's gonna go into his Among Us, and I just decided to pass the wish to Rotom, because it did take some prior damage with the U-turn, and then have it as a sleep fodder, because I do still have Heal Bell on the Clefable, so whenever I get the chance, I can wake up my Rotom again and have it running havoc on his team with the Choice Scarf, hopefully. So anyways, now I decided, you know, since he set up his rocks, it would be nice if I could do the same, so I'm just gonna go into Druddigon, take the Giga Drain, and then just set up rocks as he switches out back into his Nidoqueen, and then I'm just gonna go back into Clefable, because Clefable still kind of walls Nidoqueen, and it's one of the closest things you have to a counter in the RU tier, or used to, because you don't really have to worry about it anymore. This was just, you know, kind of a one night stand for Nidoqueen, if you will. And so, yeah, gonna go into Clefable, take the Ice Beam, followed with the Earth Power, and then I'm just gonna go for the Wish, because again, just kind of wanted to scout what he would do, and if he would attack, then I should be just able to get back to full health. And now I decided I would just go for the Heal Bell, because I do want to wake up my Rotom, and that was definitely a good move, because he goes into Gallade, and you know, having a Ghost type against an obvious Fighting type move is a pretty good thing. And after the Wish and the Lefties, I actually get back to full health, so that is definitely really nice, combating that Nidoqueen later on. And so I do go back into my Rotom, but it turns out he's running a Swords Dancing Gallade, which is definitely bad news bears, and something that I really didn't want to be looking at. And of course he has the Shadow Sneak, so he's gonna take me out, and I guess I could have done some pivot switching, baited out certain moves, but at the same time, it's a +2 Gallade, so I just kind of decided to play it safe, and I do lose Rotom for it, but I can go into Sceptile and then just go for the Acrobatics to be guaranteed to knock him out. But of course he doesn't want to stay in for that, so he is going to make the good play and then just sack his Nidoqueen. And I just really didn't want to over-predict because Gallade is just really dangerous. So played it safe, and he's gonna lose his Nidoqueen, but now he can go into his Among Us, and because I just lost my Flying Gem, I cannot knock him out with the super effective Acrobatics, and he's just gonna be able to go for the Sludge Bomb. And I decided just to stay in because there is a chance that he can just go for the Spore, so I thought, you know, I could just get a heavy hit off and then potentially revive Sceptile later on, and I wasn't really sure whether he would have Sludge Bomb or not. And yeah, I do lose Sceptile though, but yeah, damns the brakes sometimes. But now I'm just gonna go into Kabutops for the revenge kill and do go for the Stone Edge, knock him out. He doesn't really have much of anything that would really enjoy taking a Stone Edge from Kabutops, so I guess that's why he just stays in with the Among Us, and I do get to knock him out. But of course he's gonna go into his Lantern, and he actually goes for the Thunder Wave. I was really thinking he would just go straight for the Volt Switch just to keep the momentum going on, but yeah, he does just go for the Thunder Wave, but it just kind of ends up the same way with him getting the momentum, because I decided to just go for the Wish again as he does go back into his Gallade, and this is really dangerous because now I don't have a Sceptile who could potentially take one hit at a +2 and still outspeed him, because the worst thing he can do is go for the Shadow Sneak. But yeah, gonna go into Quillfish, kind of my next best thing, and well, at this point I'm not really sure whether he has the Psycho Cut or the Zen Headbutt or whatever, but he actually doesn't even go for +2 with the Swords Dance. He just goes straight for the attack as I go into my Quillfish to take the hits, so that works out nicely. And then he's gonna switch out because either he doesn't have the Zen Headbutt, or then he just feels like switching out because he is at -1. And again, I decided to play it safe because I'm just really scared of that Gallade. And so I go for the Waterfall, but of course he's gonna switch out and go into his Lantern. And at this point I just really wanted to pressure him, so I decided I would just go for the Toxic Spikes. And it actually works out quite nicely because he doesn't go for the Volt Switch, and he just goes for the Thunder Wave again. And whenever I just get to go back into Clefable, I might be able to heal Belled off, so it's not really that bad. But knowing he's most likely just gonna go for the Volt Switch, I decided I would just go into Druddigon and to take the hits. And because I do have more hazards now, I thought I might also be able to lure out this Cryogonal, and that is in fact what happens. And the Rapid Spin is pretty darn obvious, so I'm not really scared of the Ice Beam, so I decided just to stay in. He gets awesome critical hits with the Rapid Spin, totally matters, and I do end up losing my hazards, but he does end up losing his Cryogonal, so it's not all bad. And so Cryogonal does go down, and this is where things get really interesting, where a just really interesting string of events begins, because now he's gonna go into his what's this thing? Archeops. I was gonna say Aerodactyl because of the name. And I was like, well, I have really nothing better to take a hit, and I was like, Stone Edge is like the worst thing he can do, or maybe Head Smash, and this is a physically defensive Druddigon, but it actually turns out he has Outrage, so I was like, no. But then I live that with 26 HP, because this is a physically defensive Druddigon, which is not the greatest thing, but it just kind of works out. And a long time ago I just made it kind of just to deal with Entei, but it works out because I lived that Outrage from the Archeos, which I totally didn't see coming. And then I get to go for the Glare, just totally cut down his speed. And then on the next turn I can go for the Dragon Claw and just further cripple him, because when you bring down Archeos below half, it's gonna activate its ability known as Defeatist, meaning that he's gonna be able to do jack all with his attacks, and he is going to be able to knock me out, however, with the Outrage, obviously from that range. But he is in the Defeatist range, and he is paralyzed, just completely crippled. And this is just a perfect setup bait for Kabutops. And because he is in the defeatist, there is really not much he can do with the outrage, because it's not going to be doing much, especially since Kabutops has pretty good natural high defense. So I'm just going to Swords Dance on his face, and he's going to go for the defeatist outrage, and it's not really going to be doing anything. And on top of that, I get the weak armor boost, which will increase my speed, lower my defense, and that is kind of nice, the speed boost, because that means I don't need to risk the possible speed tie, or the fact that the Gallade could be jolly and just going for the Shadow Sneak. And right here I actually ran a damage calc before knocking out the Archeops, because I wasn't really sure whether I could take out this Gallade, because it is around 80% of its health. But it actually turns out that the min damage was like around 81% on fully offensive Gallade. So I do have a guaranteed one-hit KO here with the Life Orb, Adamant, Aqua Jet. So I knock out the Gallade, and then his last Pokemon will be the Lantern, and I'm just gonna go for the Stone Edge to knock him out. And even if I missed, I would have still had Clefable to kind of just stall it out, but luckily it doesn't come down to a Stormor, so go for the Stone Edge, knock him out, and that will be the game! So yeah, that will be the match for today, so thank you for watching, and by the way, thank you a lot on the comments on the previous battle upload, because yeah, had a lot of insightful comments, and reading them was a lot of fun on the topic that I did ramble about last time, and just going through and reading all those comments was really good times, so thanks a lot. And by the way, I am closing in on 1500 uploads. Some people have been asking if I have anything special planned for it, and I kind of do, because I do have a new Let's Play series in mind that I am going to start, and it's gonna be the 1500th upload, because I just finished a couple other projects on my channel, so it is time to start something new. And one hint that I could give to you is that it's gonna be starting on Monday. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and check out the new Let's Play on Monday, and I will see you guys then. So yeah, until then, this is the TheFlamingSpade signing out. Peace.